wait. Let me go trying to find it out. Wait. Right now, if you check out the other translations, it said that he came to the New International Version. I don't really like to, but anyway, use this as I use it a few times, but sometimes they're going off. That's why I kind of refrain from using it. But it says here, he came to the sheep pens along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself, cover his feet. Basically, his feet was tired. He probably went to go take a sleep, or he took a piss. Because if you read here, I went to the cover, right? So it says here, Hebrew 54:26. Hebrew 55:26. Hebrew 55:26. And if you check out some of these words, then it says here to cover, protect, followed by dun 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 dun. Let me see. But according to the opinion of Kimshi, to make water. What is to make water? To piss, which men in Asia do sitting down, covering themselves with their wide, long garment. Dun, 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 dun. Some understood this expression laying down to sleep. I don't know if he actually went to take a nap, but it would seem more plausible because he says cover his feet. I don't know. It could be that, or he his feet was kind of tired, so he basically took a kind of nap there. I don't know what he did. Like he took a rest, or he took a piss. He got off his feet and just took a dump. Actually, not a piss. Sorry, a dump. And then he left his garment somewhere. He left his garment somewhere at the entrance. Maybe he took his clothes off his garment. Because what did the garments look like back in the days? Ancient times. Yeah, these are days. But the Israelites also had these type of clothing. Let me see. Mexicans had it too. No, not this one. These ones. The Mexicans had the garments until here, right? If you are going to take a shit, a feces, you're gonna take a dump. You're not gonna wear this because it's long. It's long. These type of clothing people used to wear the robe thing. You also have it in the Hamites used to wear it. The Chinese used to wear it. Let me see, Chinese. The Chinese had these things. Men. You had the kung fu movies from these type of things. If you was to take a dump in clothes, Japanese people had it too. The Japanese had it too, like garments. The Chinese had it too. You had the Arabs still until this day. The Arabs have it also. These type of clothing covered all up. You had the Moors had it all. The Arabs have it too. Okay, you can see here. The Native Americans had these type of clothing also. Okay, these types. The ancient Hamites had it too. The Asians had it too. Like I said, you had the Arabs had these type of things. You had I just had something in my head. What Arabs? Indians of East India. I wasn't thinking of that, by the way. The people of India had those type of things also. The long garments covering themselves. Let me see, long garments. The long garments of men. These type of things. The Indian people have it too. They had this too. They had the Arabs have it. A lot of people had these type of. Everybody had these type of clothing, And the point of me showing you all this is that when you are going to take a shit in the woods, it's kind of difficult to have this on. So you would take it off and put it somewhere. Because if you read on, it's plausible what I just said, that he was actually taking a dump. And yeah, he was taking a dump, And then David arose. So let me read it again. Yeah. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privately. Right. So how can he cut his thing off of him privately if he was just taking a piss? There's only two things, because if you're taking a piss, you don't need to take off your clothing so that King David can come and cut your clothing off, a portion of your garment. So he must have been taking a dump, right? Yeah, and then he cut up because he put it somewhere, you know. You have public toilets where you can put your coat here. You can put your coat there if you finna take a dump. Coat hook. You finna take a dump in a so-called public toilet, or in the other side. So when you are in the toilet and then, you close the door behind you, and then you take a sit there, you're sitting on the toilet thing, and then you have on the door, you have this, so you can put your jacket there, because stuff like that. So ex-king Saul was in the cave. He was most likely taking a dump, and then then David came before he was the king. Then David came and cut off a piece of his garment while he was taking a shit. So that's my that's the most logical thing that comes to my head. It doesn't say it like that, but they say he went to take a piss. I don't think you're gonna take off all your clothing, just take a piss. You're gonna stand, because men stand to take a piss. But if you take a dump, then I think you're gonna take your jacket off, because some of the clothing back in the days were actually garment, which was just covered all, whether it be like that or not. So going on. And it says, and it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him, because he had cut off Saul's skirt. And he said unto his men, Yahweh forbid that I should do this thing unto my master, Yahweh's anointed, to stretch forth mine hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of the Lord. So David, I already read that. Verse 8, David also arose afterward and went out of the cave and cried after Saul. 7. So David stayed his servant with these words, and suffered them not to rise against Saul. But Saul rose up out of the cave and went on his way. David also arose afterward and went out of the cave and cried after Saul, saying, My lord the king. And when Saul looked behind him, David stooped with his face to the earth and bowed himself. And David said to Saul, Wherefore hearest thou men's words? So he was gossiping. He was on a presumptuous type tip, saying, Behold, David seeketh thy hurt. So what he was doing was being presumptuous. He was listening to people in his ear. Hey, he's trying to get your kingdom, man. I say, bitch, you're right, man. Let's go get him. Right? Because he was listening to people, and also his stupid self, because he was jealous. And the person that is jealous, and then you have people in their ear gassing him up, oh, that's double trouble. Because he's already jealous. He's supposed to have counselors. He's the king, right? He's supposed to have counselors that tell him, like, no, I don't think it's like that. Let's just investigate instead of trying to murder him. Because that's what Saul was trying to do with David. He was being presumptuous, man. He was just listening to people in his ear, people that was gassing him up, man. Instead of being rightfully trying to de-escalate the situations, they was gassing him up like, hey, I think he's trying to kill you. What? Let's go kill him. He already was jealous on, Adam. Behold, this day thine eyes have seen how that Yahweh had delivered thee today into mine hand in the cave. He didn't go seek him like Saul did, or he didn't lie in wait like basically Saul would love to do. I think there was a situation where Saul knew he was going to be at a place, and then he was trying to kill him. That's also wrong, but I'm not sure. I need to go read it again. I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on that one. And some bade me to kill thee of his own men. Because they told King David, like, kill him. But mine eye spared thee. And I said, because he said here, and he stayed his men with these words. Because the men was like, I'll read it after this. The men was like, kill him. He's trying to murder you. Even Joab said it also, like, look, that was with his son Absalom. Wait, I'm going into another story. Sorry. That was with his son Absalom, but that's another story. Because Joab was also angry at him for not killing him, But yeah, hey, King David didn't. By that time, he was the king. By the way, he didn't want to do it, and neither did he want to touch ex-King Saul here, because he is the anointed of the Lord. No matter how wrong he is anointed by the Lord. So yeah, watch out. Just stay away from him. Right, so the Lord delivered Saul into his hand, but he spared him, right? And I said, I will not put forth mine hand against my Lord, for he is Yahweh's anointed. So Lord is spelled, of course, with small letters, and this one is spelled with all caps. Because he is the Lord's anointed, Yahweh's anointed. Moreover, my father, see the skirt of thy robe in my hand, for in that I cut off the skirt of thy robe. See, he had a robe on. He didn't have a mini skirt. But is the robe, is the clothing. It's not a mini skirt. Esau changed the meaning of that. Just like the word gay, it used to mean happy. Just like the rainbow, it used to be a symbol of the Heavenly Father, his what's it called again? His covenant with man. Leviticus chapter 9, Genesis chapter 9 speaks about that. But now it's a symbol of sodomy. So anyway, it's bestiality, crazy shit. And killed thee not. Know thou and see that there is neither evil nor transgression in mine hand, which we just read about. If you murder a man with evil in your hand, you killed him, then you need to be put to death. And I have not sinned against thee. Yet thou huntest my soul to take it. So he was on the wrong. Okay, you can read the rest for yourself if you have the time. Because let me jump up 1 Samuel chapter 26 verse. Let me just go to okay, I'll just start here. David therefore sent out spies and understood that Saul was come in very deed. So he was really there, 100%. And David arose, and came to the place where Saul had pitched. He pitched the tent there. And David beheld the place where Saul lay, and Abner the son of Ner, the captain of his host, and Saul lay in the trench. And the people pitched round about him. So round about Saul they was laying, just to protect their king. Then answered David and said to Ahimelech the Hittite, which was an Israelite that was called a Hittite, and to Abishai the son of Zeruiah, brother to Joab. Joab is the cousin of King David. So this is a family member. Saying, who will go down with me to Saul? To Saul, to the camp. And Abishai said, I will go down with thee. So David and Abishai came to the people by night, and behold, Saul lay sleeping within the trench. he was taking a nap. This time he was taking a nap. And the other time I think he was taking a dump. And his spear stuck in the ground at his bolster. And Abner and the people lay round about him, all sleeping. Then said Abishai to David, Yahweh had delivered thine enemy into thine hand this day a second time. Again, you're being delivered, because he didn't go out really seek him. He knew, you'd be there, and they was at war too, He didn't lay cunningly waiting for him with some filthy stuff, But anyway, now therefore let me smite him, I pray thee, with the spear, even to the earth at once. And I will not smite him the second time. It won't be needed, because I'll kill him in one blow. But he was already talking to them in chapter 24 that, don't kill him. But they urged him, like, no, let's kill him. He wants to kill you. Why? You didn't do anything. But King David was extra righteous. Yeah. And he was correct too, you know. And the Lord knew his heart, what type of man he was. Because the men of King David, they wanted to kill Saul, man. Many times they was telling him, like, let me kill him, let me kill him. No, let me kill him. Right? So it says here, First Samuel chapter 26, verse. Yeah, here, it's my Samuel. And David said to Abishai, destroy him not. For who can stretch forth his hand against Yahweh's anointed and be guiltless? David said furthermore, as Yahweh liveth, Yahweh shall smite him. On his day shall come to what? Or his day shall come to die. Or he shall descend into battle and perish. Because King David was like, don't worry, I don't have to do anything. The Most High is gonna kill him with something, you know, like a disease or whatever, or accident. Or his day shall come to die. He's gonna be old and then he's gonna die, or he gets sick or whatever, you know, by the Lord. Or he shall descend into battle and perish, because at that time we was fighting the Hamites, and the Lord did do this one. He did do this one. He killed them in a fight because he went to a witch. Because he went to. And because he disobeyed the Lord. Here. First Chronicles. Yeah, that's what I remember. First Chronicles chapter 10, verse 13. So Saul died in his transgression because he didn't listen to the Lord 3 times, which he committed against Yahweh, and against the word of Yahweh, which he kept not, and also for asking counsel of one that had a familiar spirit to inquire of it. So he went to a witch. So he's going to die for that. And when he went to the witch, that's when he found out that he will die. You can read that in the book of 1 Samuel 28, the Witch of Endor, which they put into the movie called Star Wars. Yeah, that witch is a dark-skinned female, a dark-skinned woman, an Israelite woman. Yeah. They steal from us, bro. Even the evil, even if she's evil, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Wait. Let me say it good. Even if she's evil, it matters that she's evil, but it doesn't. She's a dark-skinned woman. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. It doesn't matter if she's evil or not. The point is she's a dark-skinned woman, and it does matter if she's evil because clearly we're not supposed to go there. But I didn't mean it like that. I meant like it doesn't matter if she's tall or short. She's a dark-skinned woman. That's the point that I wanted to point out concerning it doesn't matter if she's evil or not. Yeah. For righteous sake, it does matter that she's evil, but I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about it doesn't matter how she, what she was wearing, or if she was tall or not. The point is she's a dark-skinned woman, and in their movies, of course, they make her a caucus female, a Edomite, a demon. But anyway, right. So right, enough of that. The point is that the Most High is the one that delivered the enemy into thine hand, and you're not supposed to lay in wait for your fellow Israelites. So all you lying in wait type Jakes, I'll call you that. You blank people. All you Israelites that lay in wait for your fellow Israelite brother and actually do murder him, you're not supposed to be doing that. So if you are listening right now to this, you should not lay in wait for your fellow Israelite of your own race. Don't do that. Okay, if you meet him, you meet him. Square up, knuckle up. I don't know what you want to do. I would not advise killing. You know, so yeah, I wouldn't do that. But if you a knucklehead, then hey, then knuckle up. Okay, if you don't want to let that thing go. But if you can clearly see that King David is not like you, but then again, he was the anointed of the Lord, so King David didn't do him anything. But do believe me, King David will kill you. Believe me, if you're not one of the anointed. But Shimei, he didn't die. He cursed out King David. He didn't die for that. Later on, his son King Solomon, he did kill that same guy that cursed his father, which his father is King David. So he still died. But Nabal, right? Yeah, I'm thinking of a few incidents where King David, he really wanted to kill you, but it would be murder. So what the Lord did was he made him get a heart attack, and then he died. Yeah, I think it was Nabal. Yeah, here, 1 Samuel 25, Nabal. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, "Blessed be the Lord, that he had pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand from the hand of what? From the hand of Nabal, and had kept his servant from evil." Right, because King David wanted to go and murder him. But there was a reason. You can read the chapter for yourself if you have the time. I'm just give you a heads up. King David always used to work for Nabal. So when King David was on the flight, he had to run because his son wanted to kill him. Or was he running from? I think he was running from Saul. Or he was running from Saul, or he was running from his own son. I forgot which one. Sorry about that. But he was on the run. And then he asked Nabal, "Hey, can you help me, man, for all the things, back in the days, I used to risk my life for you, man, you know what I'm saying?" And then Nabal was like, "Who's David? Get the fuck out of here, nigga." And then when David heard that through the messenger that he sent to Nabal, David said, "You know what? I'm going to kill this guy, man. All the time I risk my life for this guy, man. And he doesn't even want to give me food and water and drink." And you have to remember, Nabal was very, very, very rich. So it would be nothing for him to spare a few loaves of bread and some water, because David was on the run. And he didn't have food. He didn't eat for a while. And his men was hungry. He was hungry. And then for Nabal to backstab him like that, he wanted to kill him. So yeah, that's the story a little bit. But you can read the rest for yourself if you have the time. 1 Samuel 25:39. And when David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, "Blessed be Yahweh, that had pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and had kept his servant from evil. For Yahweh had returned the wickedness of Nabal on his own head." And David sent and communed with Abigail, which is Nabal's wife, to take her to him to wife. So he took Nabal's wife. And this is lawful because the scripture says that here, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39. "The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord." Right. So she is allowed to have David now, as her husband. And he did take her. I mean, Nabal was dead anyway, so it's allowed. Right. So yeah, so you can read these two chapters if you have the time. I would suggest you read the whole book of 1 Samuel. I'll get to it eventually, Lord willing, of course, in the future. But let me just go read back over here. I think I was done with all that there. Let me see. Right. Oh, yeah, I don't need to go over here because King Saul, ex-King Saul, he was calling him my son. If you read here. Where is it? Wait, let me see. Where did I put it? If you read here, let me see. He said, "David, my son." He used to call, David used to call him father. Here. "Moreover, my father, see." You see? Right. So he called ex-King Saul, he called him my father, but he wasn't his biological father. There's an explanation for that. Isaiah, he's his father-in-law, but because he did get his daughter Micah. But yeah. King David got King Saul's daughter, Micah. And it was also a thing of respect. Plus, he was his father-in-law. Isaiah 22 and 21. And I will clothe him with thy robe, and strengthen him with thy girdle. And I will commit thy government into his hand. And he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Is he their biological father? No. He's a father because he nurtures over you. He's over you. Like, he cares about you. And Saul did care about him in the beginning. Job chapter 29, verse 16. I was a father to the poor, and the cause which I knew not, I searched out. So the things that he didn't know, he trying to research and trying to figure out, get more information. Genesis chapter 4, verse 20. And Ada bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. So is he a father of everybody that dwells in tents? A biological father physically? No. But he is the predecessor. He is the one that put down the example for all the people to actually follow after him. He was that, which was one of the sons of Cain. Enoch is also one of the sons of Cain, by the way. Methuselah too. Methuselah also. Right, and he was the father. Jubal was the Jabal and Jubal, which two different, and his brother Jubal. Here, Jabal and Jubal. He was the father of such of all such as handle the harp and organ, and the organ goes into flute. It's just an instrument that you blow, flute, and the harp is what you play. What King David was playing, by the way. I was just thinking about that. Right. And yeah, I already set up these things because I thought I was going to go over it. A partridge is a bird because King David likened himself unto a partridge, and he likened himself also unto a flea and a dead dog, because partridge are rather skittish birds, bursting into flight even when the disturbance is 60 feet away. So King David was telling him, like, you're the prince, you're the king of Israel, and yet you bother yourself with me. I'm a nobody. Where is that again? Wait. Here. Let me see. 1 Samuel chapter 24, verse 14. After whom is the king of Israel come out? After whom dost thou pursue? After a dead dog? After a fly? Why are you trying to bother yourself with me? I'm a nobody. I'm a flea. Sorry, fly. Yeah, I'm a flea. I'm insignificant. I'm a dead dog. I'm insignificant. And he also partridge here. He also King Saul. David in the time of ex-King Saul. Oh yeah, here Saul called him my son David. It's not the first time he called him my son David. Right? As you can see here. Wait. A partridge is an animal. So he's telling King Saul, like, why you come? I'm a flea. I'm a nobody. Why is the mighty king coming and harm me? Why are you doing this? I'm like a partridge in the mountains, man. Scary as hell. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to stay away from you as far as possible. I'm running away from you. Because he gave that reference because these type of birds, they're very scared. Who's there? And they chicken shit, basically, David was no fucking chicken, okay? He just didn't want to touch him. He didn't want to touch the Lord. He cut off his garment, and then he started to feel real guilty, like, oh shit, I actually cut his clothing. I'm not even supposed to do that. But his men wanted to kill King Saul, man. They wanted to kill him. They was loyal to King David, but King David was loyal to the Most High, and he was loyal to Saul also. Still, even after he wanted to murder him. Yeah, often. So he called him my son often. My son David. He called him my son a little bit more often. Here he called him my son again. So he was not his physical father, and he was not his physical son. But King David did call him father out of respect, and he was his father-in-law, by the way. And also, he called him his son because he was his son-in-law. You know, so yeah, and also because he loved him. But yeah, but first and foremost, they were father-in-law and son-in-law. Right. So yeah, I'll put that there because these birds are very skittish, and they're very afraid. And he was comparing himself to that. He also a flea, like I'm insignificant. Why are you trying to kill me? Why are you bothering yourself with me? So yeah, yeah. It doesn't mean that he was necessarily his real father because I was a father to the poor. The poor doesn't mean that you fathered all these poor people. No, you're nurturing them. You're helping them. You are taking care of them. And that could be it also. They're spiritually your children. Whether you be their mentor or whether you just like them, and then you take them on as your own children because you want to take care of them. Let me see. Okay, that's that. And then going back to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 14, subtitled "Laws about Witnesses." Okay, thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark. Esau already did that. Look at America. I mean, Mexico, really? Texas, really? All these places, they are the ones that set up landmarks. I mean, yeah, landmarks and stuff like that. Look, this is my land, and nobody can pass this. And if you cross this border, you're in my land now. The whole land used to be of the Native Americans and the so-called Mexicanos and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, Esau did this, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance. So even if it's